So, just before we move on to the maths we're going to do today, just wanted to let you know about one thing. We've got to write reports for you soon after half term, and I really, obviously, since we've been in lockdown, obviously the majority of the work that I've been setting has been the Hegarty quizzes. So I really do need those completed or attempted for me to be able to write you a good report. Okay, so I just wanted to well, warn you, I guess, but that sounds a bit strong, but just to let you know that I'm going to be emailing you guys, those of you who owe me quite a few of the Hegarty quizzes, later this week, and we've been encouraged to just make sure that your parents are in the loop. So I will be copying your parents in on that email. So I just really wanted to give you a chance to try and get some of those quizzes done before I send out that email later this week. Because really in the email, I'm going to be saying that you need to catch up over half term. But it would be great if my email can say, so-and-so's done lots, so they only owe me one or two, and these are the two they need to do, rather than I'm saying, well, they owe me almost all of them. Okay, so there in red, those are the Hegarty quizzes that I have set. All right. Now, obviously, if you've given one a really good go and you've properly given it a good go, I can see all the evidence on Hegarty because I can see how long you've spent watching the video, how long you've spent each time you've tried the quiz. Then that's fine. You know, if you've really struggled with the topic, and I know some of them have been quite difficult, then that's okay. But I've seen one or two of you, you've got like a 0% and you've had one go and spent like 3 minutes on it. Now that's not acceptable, and I will be raising that. Okay, so please can you try and get some of the quizzes done? I don't mind which ones, just to do the ones that you think are easier. Just try and catch up, some of you, please. So this is going to be our final lesson on standard form. I still think there's room for improvement with everybody's marks on the adding and subtracting quiz. So we're going to have one final go at improving our marks on Hegarty 127. Okay, so I'm just going to model the 4 types of question that are coming up in that quiz. The quiz has 8 questions and it has 2 on each of these types of questions. So I'm just going to model each of them for you again. Okay, so questions 1 and 2 look like this, where you've got to add 2 positive numbers in standard form. So we start off by getting these 2 numbers into standard form. So 4 times 10 to the 7. So write down your 4, pop in lots of noughts, and just do 7 hops. Okay, so 7 hops. So we're starting there. We do 7 hops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can see there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros after the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And similarly with the other one, these are quite easy really, but with the other one, we've got to do the decimal points there to start with. We've got to do 5 hops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's generating 5 zeros. So when you just got a whole number like that, the number of hops equals the number of zeros. But remember, that isn't the case when you start getting decimalized numbers. So we've got 7 followed by 5 noughts. So we've got 5 noughts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we've got the 7. So when we add those together, we get 4, 0, 7, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. You've got to give your answer in standard form. So that's going to be 4.07 times 10 to the watt. So the decimal points going through on the end to back there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hops. So your final answer is 4.07 times 10 to the 7. And that's what questions 1 and 2 will look like. That's when you're adding with positive standard form. Okay, we're adding them and we've got a positive standard form. Now questions 3 and 4 look like this, where we're adding with negative standard form. So these are small numbers. So first of all, translate them into small numbers. So pop down your 3. Remember to put the zeros over to this side now, because they're small numbers. And 3 times 10 to the minus 1, we're just doing the single hop from there to there. So that gives us 0.3. And with our second one, 4 times 10 to the minus 3, pop in lots of zeros, do 3 hops, so we're hopping from 4, 3 hops, 1, 2, 3, we get, so it ends up there, we get 0.004. So line those up, 0.004, maybe put in some zeros there to help you add them. Add them together, we get 0.304. Now that isn't really one you would turn into standard form in real life because it's not that small, but we're being asked to do so. So the first number's got to be between 1 and 10, so the decimal point's going to go there to give us 3.04. And we've just done the one hop. Okay, yep, we're hopping from here to here. It's a small number, so it's a negative power. So your final answer will be 3.04 times 10 to the minus 1. Now that's questions 3 and 4. Okay, so you've just got to go through the process of just carefully turning them into normal numbers and adding them. Right, questions 5 and 6 look like this, where we are subtracting with positive standard form. So 7 times 10 to the 6 was 7 with the 6 noughts. Okay, because that's the 6 hops. Okay, we've hopped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're taking away 4 times 10 to the 4, which is 4 with 4 noughts. Let's get the 4 noughts in, and there's the 4. So it's those two being taken away. So just be careful with your taking away here. Right, this may be where you're going wrong, some of you. Naught take away naught is noughts all the way along. Be careful of this one. 0 take away 4 you can't do, so we've got to borrow. We've got to borrow all the way across to here. So that becomes a 6, making that a 10, but we need to borrow from that 10, so that 10 becomes a 9, and so we've got a 10 there. So we've then got 10 take away 4, which is 6, and we've got the 9, and we've got the 6. So we've got 696 and all those zeros. Turning that into standard form, first number between 1 and 10, 6.96 times 10. And then how many hops have we done? Well, we're hopping from here to here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hops. So final answer, 6.96 times 10 to the 6. So that's questions 5 and 6. And then the final two ones we're going to be subtracting with negative standard form. So again, just turn these numbers into normal small numbers. So 6 times 10 to the minus 1. So we'll just put some zeros in, but we're just doing the single hop. So that just becomes 0.6. And 5 times 10 to the minus 3, put the 5 in, get some zeros to hop over. We're hopping 3 places, 1, 2, 3, so we're getting 0.005. So we've got to do 0.6, take away 0.005. Now, just pop in some zeros, particularly important with these taking away ones. And again, we've got to do some borrowing. You can't do 0 take away 5. So we borrow across to the 6, 5, that becomes a 5, that becomes a 10, which we borrow from, so that becomes a 9. So we're left with 10 take away 5, which is 5, 9 take away 0, which is 9, 5. So we've got 0.595. Turning that into standard form, first number between 1 and 10 is 5.95 times 10 to the something. And we've just done the single hop, haven't we? We're hopping from here to here. So that's a single hop. It's a negative, it's a small number, so it's a negative power, 5.95 times 10 to the minus 1. So those are going to be the final two questions, guys. 7 and 8 are going to be like that. So I've done that quite quickly. You might need to replay the video over again, and just pause and go over the bits where you're going wrong. It would be great if everybody can be getting better marks than they had before. I think some of you are up into the 70s or 80s, which is good. It'd be excellent news if we can get some people getting 100, please. So if you could go and have another go at Hegarty 127, please. I'll be keeping an eye out for any comments you may be making, and I'll be keeping an eye out for your improved marks. Next lesson, we will move on to the next topic. Okay, guys, that's it. Hope you're all well. Speak to you soon.